Hi guys, Sam here at the International 2014 playoffs. I'm joined here by CIS Black. Now unfortunately, commiserations, you were unable to make it for the wild cards. Kind of like wrap up how that situation went down for you. Were playing against Liquid.
Coming in here, we obviously knew we didn't have the best chances, didn't really have preparation, but we just tried to adapt to the new meta game, I guess, without having any idea how to do it. And then we ended up with two really weird drafts, and we basically lost after the draft already. It didn't really matter that they outplayed us as well, but there was just
Okay, now speaking of preparation, your team was plagued by visa issues. It took almost most of your team 4 tries to get a US visa. How much of an impact did that have on your guys' team and in terms of practice and boot camping?
Personally, for me, it wasn't a big issue because I've heard of other Chinese teams, they got denied once or twice as well. It was never been a big issue. But they apparently they got really emotional about it, and then they didn't really feel like practicing. So we basically had no preparation at all coming into this because they thought they wouldn't even make it here.
Okay. So you guys weren't able to practice at all. When was the last time you guys played together?
Well, before this, we had 1 hour of practice here, of course, from the bootcamp thing. But before that, there was, I think, in a total of 44, maybe 45 days where we actually didn't play together at all, not one game.
All right. Now, in terms of yourself, obviously, end of last year, LGD disappeared, and at that time you stayed in China, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
And what was kind of your aims and plans at that point in time?
Honestly, I was looking into options in Europe, but there were a lot of tournaments going on, so teams were trying to stabilize their roster, and so I couldn't really find an opening. And since I thought the Chinese, China is a better place to improve as a player, I thought since I can't find a team there anyway, I'm just gonna stay, which most of my friends and family found very stupid. Of course, I couldn't tell them, yeah, I'm going there in a month, I'm doing that, because it was just all in the blue. So I got a lot of criticism from my family and friends. Ultimately, why I stayed, I can't really say, but in the end, it didn't turn out so bad. But I just followed my heart, I guess.
And how did you actually end up on the CIS team? I believe it was for another tournament, and you kind of fell into place on that team.
Yeah, I played a matchmaking game with one of the members in Flame, and I was jokingly saying, "Hey, I want to join your team," and he was not responding or anything. So I was I guess that's that. And then 3 days later, the manager added me on the QQ. That's a Chinese
social message
thing. Yeah, exactly. He added me there and was "Hey, I heard you want to join our team." And I was "Hey, that doesn't sound too bad." And then we just started playing together. It wasn't so bad, so we just ended up playing together.
And obviously, being in a team is one thing, but being in a Chinese team as a Western player, surely that adds an extra level of difficulty on top. How good is your? Can you actually communicate in Chinese? Were they speaking English with you, or what's the deal there?
No, honestly, they can't really speak English at all, except one player. So we would mostly communicate in Chinese, which is not a big problem in Dota because there only so many words you really need. So learning that wasn't a big issue. Just the big issue was outside of Dota when you wanted to do something, but we overcame that problem just by using body language. So it wasn't really a big problem either. So I think this whole language thing is not a problem at all. If you put in a month or 2 just dedicated to practice Chinese.
Okay. And so you're pretty much one of the only Western players right now who's took a really extended stay in China. Do you feel playing with the Eastern players and sticking to their strict schedule, is that kind of what you like? You like being in that regime, practicing hard like that?
I've been part of both, obviously, and there's not really that big of a difference as I've experienced. Both have a lot of freedom after all. It's just when I was in LGD, for example, they have a set amount of hours you should play per week, but everything more you play, that's just a bonus. You don't have to do that. It was pretty much the same in the West, so it's not a big difference. I just think the way they play their practice games in China is much more serious than in the West. They take every game like a clan war. They don't troll around and do funny things. They just play 100% serious. So that's why I think the Chinese training grounds is a much better way to improve.
Okay. Now, given the choice, would you prefer to stick into the Eastern scene, or would you look at maybe moving back to the Western scene, or you're not sure yet?
Yeah. After the TI, there's obviously going to be like a really big reshuffle again, so I'm going to wait for that. But realistically, I could see myself in the West and the East. Like, I just always try to go there where I think I have the best potential to improve as a person and as a player. But both are definitely an option. I'm not going to exclude one.
And how much practice do you actually get? In terms of carrying and just sheer amount of last hits and everything like that. I always see you up there pulling up some crazy numbers, and you tend to pull the team into a 4 protect 1 strat. Do you think that kind of lineup still works in this Dota?
Like, I think right now in this version, every single strategy is viable because the hero pool is so huge. You can just like choose from, I don't know how many, like over 100 now.
Yeah, over 100.
Yeah, over 100, and
Just about.
yeah. So like pretty much every strategy works. There's not a bad or good thing. It's just you don't want to become too predictable. That's like the only thing. So you should have like 2 or 3 different play styles that you should be able to play. But every play style definitely works. Like there's not a play style that doesn't work right now.
And where do you see things going over the next, like, say, half a year? Do you think all these third-party tournaments will just get bigger and bigger, hosting, we saw ESL running a football stadium event, and DreamHack seems to get bigger every year. I mean, and with the international being $10.5 million, like, do you think it's going to reach a limit where it just can't get any bigger, or do you think this is just the beginning?
Like, from the first year to now, I think TI3 to TI4 was like the biggest increase we've ever had. It's like over 300% as much. I don't think it will grow as much, but it will definitely keep growing. I can't say how much because like this year was incredible. How many new players? Like over 3 million. It's really crazy. Like I definitely think it will continue growing, not as fast, but it will definitely steadily go up and up. And like we can see Starletters already announced like season 10 and 11, so they're definitely putting hard work in there as well. And the community is just like supporting Dota so well. So all those tournaments can get like higher prize pools, can support teams better. Like, just a very big props to you guys.
Towards the start this year, people were commenting maybe that the Chinese scene wasn't getting enough practice, as say compared to the Western teams. There wasn't as many tournaments going on. There's a lot more regulations in place. Did you feel that effect when you were there? Like, did you feel like we could be getting more tournaments in here, maybe?
No, like honestly, we had pretty much a tournament to play every day, and if not that, then every second day. Actually, DK and IG, I think they have the most played tournament games from all teams right now, because they have just played in so many tournaments. China probably had more tournaments this year than Europe, so like that's definitely not true. Like, maybe we had too much even.
Okay. So what's the kind of like fine balance? Would you prefer to be playing every couple of days, or I mean, all the practice helps, right?
Like, as I said, in China, every game pretty much gets treated the same. They just play 100% serious. So that doesn't really matter as much in the East as it does in the West. So, like, I don't know, like, it doesn't really matter in the end. But, like, it's just good to have so many tournaments around because that always adds this, like, extra level of intensity and, like, how you treat the game.
Okay, and a more positive note, have you been, I guess, following the World Cup recently? Were you happy with the display? Probably the biggest upset of the day was just Germany wrecking Brazil. Did that put a big smile on your face?
Like, that was right after I lost the wild card, so I was like pretty down, but after I saw that, I was pretty happy. But it was like kind of false, I think, because the 2 star players were missing, Silva and Neymar. I think had they been there, it wouldn't have been like that bad. It just, it's just kind of sad for them to like lose that hard on the like home field because the 2 players have been like fouled, and it was just very unfortunate for them. I think had they been there, it would have been much closer. But I was very, very happy, of course. Yeah, in the grand final now.
And who are you going to face?
I don't know yet. I hope Netherlands because I'm a big Robin fan.
Okay, well, don't tell that to Bruno. He'll probably hit you.
He will defend me though.
Oh yeah, that's actually yeah. Okay, I'm with you on that. Like that's you picked right. And then so what's the score going to be for the finals?
If Germany plays Netherlands, I think it's going to be 3-2 for Germany.
Gotta get the joke in there. And I'm going to let you shoot and let you enjoy the rest of the games here. And best luck for the future. Before you go, obviously you still have a huge bunch of fans on the western side of the scene, so give them a quick shout out.
just a big shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for everything you've done for me. You've been a big support to me, and without you, I've probably given up a very long time ago. So just very big thanks to you, and I will just continue trying to give my best and not disappoint you guys anymore.
All right, thanks, Black.